celebrating the United States' 247th Independence Day in magnificent style. Today, the United States celebrates its 247th Independence Day across the country. April is an important holiday in the United States to commemorate the Declaration of Independence ratified on July 4, 1776, which established the United States. Many countries honor America's legacy on July 4th. Fireworks are still in the middle of the Independence Day celebrations. According to the U.S. Department of State, millions of people in the United States celebrate this day each year with fireworks, parades, and food. There are celebrations in other countries as well. Unsurprisingly, in many democratic countries, each has its own traditions and respect for freedom in American institutions. The holiday celebrates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence, the document declaring the country's separation from Great Britain. According to the Library of Congress, a year later there was a celebration in Philadelphia that marked the anniversary of the independence of the United States. Most American families celebrate their birthdays by having or attending a picnic or barbecue. The fireworks are part of the International Freedom Festival held every July by Windsor, Canada, and Michigan's largest city, Detroit, to commemorate Canada Day and Canada on July 1st. The date is July 4th. Fireworks have been an important part of Independence Day since its inception. There are other places that pay homage to American culture on the 4th of July through American music, food, and culture, according to an article the U.S. Department of State has posted on its website. U.S. missions around the world celebrate Independence Day with events held in their home countries. April is to celebrate the Independence Day of the United States. This year will be the 247th Independence Day for America. People celebrate the day with celebrations, eating, drinking cold beer, and, of course, fireworks. Date of Independence. The holiday celebrated on July 4, 1776, when the Second Continental Congress unanimously adopted the Declaration of Independence, declaring the separation of the colonies from Great Britain. According to the Library of Congress, a year later there was a celebration in Philadelphia that marked the anniversary of the independence of the United States. However, surveillance did not become commonplace in the new country until after the War of 1812. It quickly became popular. The Library of Congress recorded important events in the 19th century, such as the construction of the Erie Canal and the Baltimore Plans. And the Ohio Railroad will coincide with the 4th of July celebrations. Fireworks become traditional. Fireworks have been an integral part of Independence Day since its inception. Founding Father John Adams predicted this would come. The celebration of American independence must be celebrated with pomp and show, and from now on across this country with spectacles, games, guns, bells, fireworks, and lights, wrote Adams in Forever. A letter to his wife Abigail, dated July 3, 1776. Fireworks originated a few centuries before America became a nation. Many historians believe that fireworks were first invented in the 2nd century AD, according to the American Pyrotechnic Society. In ancient China, Throwing bamboo into a fire caused an explosion due to the heat of the hollow air bubble. Fireworks were widely used for religious ceremonies and public entertainment in Europe in the 15th century, and the first settlers in the United States did the same, the agency said. Which president refuses to celebrate? 4,444 presidents, from George Washington to Joe Biden, celebrated the nation's birth on July 4th, with one exception, Adams. The man refused to celebrate July 4th because he thought it was the real Independence Day, except in a letter to his wife. From where? On July 2, 1776, the Continental Congress voted in favor of the Declaration of Independence, but the Declaration of Independence was not ratified until 2 days later. Even when Adam was the country's second president, he decided to stop invitations to celebrations and other events. Ironically, Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the original authors of the Declaration of Independence, died on July 4, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. Fireworks are right in the middle of the 4th of July Independence celebrations. However, fireworks make the holiday particularly dangerous and often lead to more than 10,000 emergency room visits. The United States celebrates its 247th Independence Day today. Today, 13 American colonies have seceded from British rule. Known as Independence Day or the 4th of July, the day is filled with feelings of love and offers an opportunity to acknowledge the country's rich history and religious significance. People celebrate by holding parades and barbecues. People dressed in red, white, and blue and painted themselves in red, white, and blue, the colors of the American flag. Fireworks are part of American history and culture and are considered the most important part of Independence Day celebrations. Here's information about the 4th of July, including the history of the holiday and the fact that fireworks are part of the tradition. The date of the holiday. The holiday celebrates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence from July 4, 1776, the document declaring the country's separation from Great Britain. According to the Library of Congress, a celebration was held in Philadelphia a year later to mark the anniversary of American independence. However, surveillance did not become commonplace in the new country until after the War of 1812. It quickly became popular. The Library of Congress recorded important events in the 19th century, such as the construction of the Erie Canal and the Baltimore Plans, and the Ohio Railroad in celebration of National Day. History of fireworks. Fireworks have been an important part of Independence Day since its inception. Founding Father John Adams predicted this would come. In the letter, Adams wrote that the celebration of American independence must be celebrated across the country with parades, games, sports, guns, bells, fires, and lamps, with approval and celebration and competition. Abigail's Wife, dated July 3, 1776. Fireworks were circulating hundreds of years before the United States was founded. Many historians believe that fireworks were first used in BC. The American Pyrotechnic Society said it exploded when gas bubbles were thrown into the fire and overheated. By the 15th century, fireworks were widely used for celebrations in Europe, said the Institute. when presidents refuse to celebrate. Every president from George Washington to Joe Biden celebrated his birthday on July 4th, with one exception, John Adams. Except in a letter to his wife, the man refused to celebrate July 4th because he thought it was the true day of faith. From where? On July 2, 1776, the Continental Congress voted in favor of the Declaration of Independence, but the Declaration of Independence was not ratified until 2 days later. Even when Adam was the second President of the United States, he decided to stop invitations to celebrations and other events. Ironically, both Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the original author of the Declaration of Independence, died on July 4, 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. Use of explosive rockets. Use of explosive rockets has grown rapidly over the past 2 decades. American Pyrotechnic Association statistics show that American consumers spent $407 million, 33.36 billion rupees, on fireworks in 2000. This figure will rise to $2.3 billion, 18,853,100 crore, in 2022. The biggest increase is during the COVID-19 outbreak, when public fireworks are turned off. Consumer goods sales jumped from $1 billion, 8,196,800 rupees crore, in 2019 to $1.9 billion, 15,572,153 rupees, in 2020. Establishment sales are expected to increase by $100 million, 819 rupees crore, this year. It helps that the 4th of July coincides with a Tuesday that essentially creates 4 holidays. Some people are seriously injured. Despite many studies, thousands of Americans are seriously injured by fireworks each year, and this year is no exception. Firefighters and paramedics were called to the town of Lexington on the outskirts of Kansas City on Saturday evening. Upon reports of fire and a house burning, a fire broke out and many people were injured on the ground. Northwest Union Fire Department District Police Chief Todd Maxton said in a statement that firefighters, paramedics and city police had evacuated the casualty from the area to the emergency room and 4 people were hospitalized, 2 of whom were critical. CPSC reports that in 2022, 10,200 people will be treated in emergency rooms and 11 people will die from fireworks. About 3/4 of injuries occur around July 4th. About 1/3 of injuries occur to the head, face, ears, or eyes. Injuries to the fingers, hands, and legs also occur.